you hadn't already made plans and you live close enough to get there, go up to Martinsville this weekend and check out the race. It's a beautiful time of the year in Virginia. The leaves are in full color. It's a great racetrack. It's throwback, and it feels really good to be there. Clay Campbell and the people that run that place are simply awesome. And if you have never treated yourself to a race at Martinsville and you can get there, you need to be there.
I thought you were going to say Martinsville hot dog. If you've never treated yourself to a Martinsville hot dog, get one of those too. I know it's cliche, and everybody that, is around racing all the time is like, okay, we get it, the Martinsville hot dogs. But they're like, it's like a staple. You know what I mean? Like you can't go there and not get one.
And they have chili slaw onion on them.
All the way. That's how I get mine.
And they are only $2.
I know.
They're only $2. I don't know that they make any money off the hot dog, but it's a good deal.
Top profit.
Volume. How do you make money? We sell a lot.
We sell a lot. And they sure do. I mean, every time I'm there, the line is.
You got to get them early.
Yeah, you do.
You got. And the one thing that they did, and this is picky, used to be in the media center, they always had a big tray of them. And you could just go by, because we're media mooches and get them. Well, now they cater the food in. I'm like,
I want this.
No, I don't.
Give me a hot
dog. Barbecue. It's a hot dog. But anyway, if you get a chance, the people are nice. There's not a bad seat in the house. It's always a great time of year to go to Martinsville and check that out. So if you're in that area, make it up to Martinsville. Brad, can a driver that is not in the Championship 8 go up there and win? You were teasing Brad Keselowski earlier.
Yeah, and you almost shot it down. But no, I think Brad Keselowski, I think Kyle Busch actually has potential to do that. If I was going to pick outside of the Championship 8, and you'll be really happy, Doug, because I was tempted, just because I know how much you love it, to take Chase Elliott and say he will win his way through to the Owners' Championship. But I don't think it'll happen.
I'm sorry you left that off the table. Is there a driver not in the title hunt, Alexis? You're looking at the sheet and you're shaking your head to the negative.
Yeah, I mean, I think certainly. But I also think that it's going to be somebody in the Championship 8. It just is. I mean, that's just the way it always seems to work out. There, certainly you could have a spoiler. I think Kyle Busch is probably the best one, that Brad already named. But when I go back and look at years past or races past, Kyle Larson, Christopher Bell, William Byron, you have Alex Bowman in there, but where has he been? I mean, where has he been? Is he even on the racetrack on Sundays anymore?
I looked up yesterday, and I think it might have been in the first stage, and he was being lapped.
Yeah, I mean, I hate that, but he has been nowhere to be found. So even though he does have a win in the last couple of years at Martinsville, I don't see it happening for him. Truex, Chase Elliott, perhaps maybe he could play spoiler, but I don't think it's going to happen. I think it's definitely going to be somebody in the brand of 8.
Let me toss out a couple of other names, and you guys give me the feedback. We've mentioned him a lot. We'll start with you, Alexis. Martin Truex Jr.
Yes, he has 3 wins there. He's very good. But those, I believe, were all in not next-gen cars, or should I say Gen 7 cars, because it's not next-gen anymore. It's here now, which I am guilty of doing all the time. Say that again, Brad?
That's what they named it.
That's true. That is what they named it. But anyway, so certainly I think he has the opportunity to do that. But I feel like this playoffs have just kind of beaten him down a little bit. I mean, if you listen to any of his radio communication over the weekend in Homestead, it just was like, I'm done. Almost like I'm done. I'm done. And that's not something we're used to hearing from Martin. So can he do it? Sure. Will he? I don't think so.
Brad, you like Martin? Does he have a shot?
I don't. One of the top best average qualifying efforts at Martinsville in the next-gen car, 5.3, the 20th best average finish at Martinsville in the next-gen car, which is actually almost an average of a 20th place finish. The way their season is gone, I mean, their luck would look. There'd have to be like 3 rainbows, and they find all 3 pots of golds at that to make it happen.
And maybe a unicorn, just for good measure.
Right.
All right. I've kind of tugged at this all year long. Denny Hamlin. Is this where Denny throws off the shackles, gets a win, and goes to Phoenix? He's won 5 times there.
No, I don't think so. Again, if Martin Truex Jr. has the 20th best average finish, look at Denny Hamlin in the next-gen car, 27th best in the Cup Series, in the entire Cup Series. That's right behind Todd Gilliland, by the way, in terms of average finish in the car, in the next gen car. And no offense to Todd Gilliland, but it just puts it into perspective. Look, he's been great at Martinsville Speedway, but he's not been great here the last year and a half at this track.
I love that. No offense to him. Is that like, Brad, is that like saying, with all due respect?
With all due respect. Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely.
Well, I want to ask you guys, do you know when the last time Denny Hamlin won at Martinsville was?
Ooh, I'm going to guess just because you threw it out there and say 2019.
I'm going to go 18.
15.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow.
Yes. 2015.
Oh,
was the last time that Denny Hamlin won at Martinsville. So, we always think about Martinsville as being a really great track for Denny Hamlin because he does have 5 wins. And maybe because, it's technically a home track, being in Virginia. But what have you done for me lately? And he hasn't won there since 2015.
Wow.
That's pretty big.
Yeah.
That's a big number.
That's sobering.
Yeah.
I mean, that just lets you know that they've not done anything there.
Well, I mean, I don't, I'd have to go back and look at their finishes and see if they have top 5s or top 10s. That I did not look up. But as far as like getting the W, which I feel like he will need to advance, is to get the W. It hasn't happened in quite some time.
Brad, it is a legit thing to say now that when you look at stats, you really should just look at the current car.
Mm-hmm.
Is it that much different?
I feel like it is, and I think we're getting a good enough sample. And again, we were talking earlier. Look, intermediate tracks, Toyota has just been fantastic. They've not gone out and won every one of them, but they've been fantastic in the next gen car on intermediate tracks. And I feel like they've struggled a little bit on super speedways and maybe sort of been, a little better than average, but not the dominant ones when it comes to short track racing. And there was a time where Denny Hamlin, look, among his 60 wins, that's his career. What he's been able to do on short tracks like Martinsville Speedway and Richmond and Bristol Motor Speedway and so on down the line. But I just think the next gen car, we've got to sample most of these tracks that run twice a year. We've been to now 3 times, and with Martinsville Speedway, we're about to be there for the 4th time this weekend. So I think you can start to look at that and start looking at averages and say, yeah, there's something here that is more than just a one race sample.
All right, definitively, who wins Martinsville? You get one driver.
Ryan Blaney.
Ryan Blaney. All right, Brad Gillie.
Just to be different, Kyle Larson.
All right, Ryan Blaney, Kyle Larson. One of those already in, the other one trying to get in.